the title, as you can see, says it all. Self-destruct. Um, I don't know what. Well, I was going to say I don't know what to make of that game. I do know what to make of it. Um, I don't know. This has left me feeling kind of sick, to be honest. Sick to my fucking stomach. Um, Saying this is a game we should not have lost is stainly obvious, right? But again, it seems. Look, I know I have a picture of Wenger on my screen, and the reason I have that is because yes, Wenger fucked up towards the end, but he is and was our most successful ever manager. So you gotta give him his kudos as a major figure in the history of our football club. But you know, we're still messing up in the same manner we did when Wenger was around, and that is worrying. Yes, we do still have some players who were signed under Wenger: Holding, Lacazette, Hector, Xhaka. Um, in a way, you can consider Saka, because I'm sure Wenger would have known Saka. Um, so but the thing is, even players that we brought in still have that self-destruct mentality, like Luis, like especially today Leno. They're not Wenger signings, but we still bring in players who still have this erraticness. Look, all players make mistakes. Don't get me wrong, but it's the same old failings, season in, season out. And I think it's. Don't think you can say it. I think, as I say, it's a worrying trend. Why are we getting players who continually make these stupid mental errors? Yes, they happen at all clubs, but it's been a specific failing at Arsenal. And for me, that is the takeaway from this game. Look, Arteta, I don't think you can blame him for the defeat. You can argue he should have made better substitutions, but it wasn't his fault for the penalty. Certainly not his fault for their second and ultimately winning goal, which was very well taken, and not his fault really for Bernd Leno's silliness, frankly. Leno is a goalkeeper I rate. I think he is a good, but he has these moments of madness in a way like David Luiz does, which honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. But this is a game we threw away because I'm pretty sure if it had been 1-0 at half time, I suspect we may have gone on to win the game. And we dominated that first half, especially say the first up until Pepe scored. Even before their goal, their first goal, I should say, that was against the run of play. Because to be fair, you can't blame David Luiz 100% because Holding was not marking and tracking, and there was a big gap there. Um, I think our positioning for that first goal was all wrong. The second goal for them, all right, cool. It was a good strike. We may have closed it down better, but sometimes you just can't legislate for that. Um, uh, and even with 10 men, with Leno on the pitch, we could have got a draw. Who knows? As for the penalty, for them, obviously, I don't know. I think, yes, you can say it was harsh, but was it really? I think by the letter of the law, we have to accept it was a penalty, and Luis was the last man, and it was a clear goal scoring opportunity, so it's a penalty. Um, but overall, um, I have to say it was. Arteta can only be blamed so much for his reactions, but not the actual team. Um, not so much the actual team. The player mistakes, as it were. Um, So yeah, I think for me, again, it makes me sick in that we still have this stupid self-destructive capacity, and since Wenger's left, it's very worrying that it has not gone. Um, very worrying. Um, but yeah, that's that really. I don't know. So I'm gonna do some. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna talk more specific players, and then I'll talk about the player ratings. I thought Thomas Partey had an improved game compared to the was our last game, uh, Man United. Um, at home to Man United, he was giving the ball away a lot, but I thought his ball retention was better, and I think his balls to the final third were a lot better too. Um, you know, as for Xhaka, again, Xhaka did okay. He was being putting himself about and also progressing the ball well. I thought Cedric Suarez had a good game. Um, you know, uh, who else? To be fair, Louise up until the penalty was playing well, and I think generally defensively we were good. They didn't really have many chances. Traore tried to get a few crosses in, but other than that, I don't. You know, it didn't really amount to much. But I don't know. Honestly, don't know. This is hard to take because I can accept. Well, I suppose you have to accept defeat anyway, but I can accept this more if Wolves just came and slapped us down, but they didn't. We handed them that defeat. It was again self-destruct, just as the title says. So I'm going to do some player ratings then. Leno 0. I was going to give him actually a minus, which I thought would be probably too disrespectful, but it has to be an absolute 0 for me for obvious reasons. Bellerin 5. I thought he had a reasonable game. Suarez 5. Luis 3. Is that a bit harsh? But the penalty. You know what? I'm gonna give him probably I'll give him a 4 because I don't think the entire situation to the penalty, if that makes sense, leading up to the penalty was his fault. Holding 3. To be fair, up until that penalty, but in my honest opinion, I think he has to take most of the blame. Louise was the last man, and you know, but again, you can't just say Louise caused it. I think you have to look at. I think his holdings inability to trap the Wolves man, which cost us there. Partey, Xhaka get a 5 apiece for the reasons I stated. I thought they both competed well. Lacazette for me gets a 6. Saka should have scored in what first 30 seconds, but he was a major threat really in that first half. Pepe scored a wonderful goal. He gets an 8 for me. Smith Rowe 4. He's young, but he still needs to. Actually, yeah, I'll say a 5. I thought we did dominate much of that first half, and Smith Rowe was. I won't say he was central to it, but he was contributing. As for the subs, Aubameyang 3. When he came on, he didn't offer much, and Arteta, I'm going to give a 6. I don't think. Well, the only negative to restate is that he did not really change things possibly as well as he could have. For example, when Aubameyang came on, he would put him on the wing. He put Saka in the in a kind of well up top for what it, but then surely you should play Aubameyang up top and then Saka on the wing. I don't know. So I don't think he responded to the sendings off or sending offs, I should say, as well as he could have. But then I do think, you know, I do think the situations that unfolded were definitely not his fault. Um, so that's that then. Our recent good run has come to an end for now. But again, it's the same issues that we had probably 5, 6, even 10 years ago. That we still have players who are liable to moments of madness. And if we're to progress to get back to the top, we need no players are perfect, right? But we do need players who make errors of judgment, the errors of judgment like this, the exception, the strong exception, and not the norm, if that makes sense. Um, so yeah, so thank you very much.